Bonjour and welcome to a new unboxing video. A little while back, not that long ago, I did show you some Star Trek The Next Generation figures by Super Impulse. You know, they were like smaller scale and not very well articulated with weird poses, but they were fun. And I actually had told you that that company, Super Impulse, they were the people who do the world's smallest games and toys and objects. I mean, it's a whole new line and collection of minifigures. And I had told you that they were doing some Star Trek one and that we would be talking about the Star Trek one when the Star Trek ones have arrived. And so you do have three world's smallest micro figures from Star Trek done by Super Impulse. So you do have Captain Kirk. I will show them to you in more detail because I mean they are tiny. We do have Mr. Spock, and we do have the USS Enterprise. So we're going to open those. I've never had any of those because it's never been really something I've looked into, but I thought, as they're doing Star Trek, might as well. So the way they are sold, they're sold in those blisters. So a huge blister that's actually much bigger than the actual figure. The figure in itself is sold in a mini blister. So you do have micro figures and the world's smallest, and also, of course, it is by Super Impulse. And in the back, you do have a bit more details about Star Trek world's smallest, and you do have the back of the blister, and of course they do tell you who is in the collection. So you do have three characters in the collection. So we're going to open those. I have no idea, I've never done any of those, so I'm thinking that I probably have to basically destroy the blister. Is probably the best way. First of all, there is a little catalog. I mean, I've shown you the last time that there were actually mini catalog with showing basically the kind of thing you can find in all that world's smallest collection. And of course, there should be the Star Trek one somewhere in there. Yes, there's two of the Star Trek ones over here, but not all three of them. So there is this catalog in every of the packagings from what I can see, and we're going to now look at the actual action figure. So the action figure comes in a blister. There seems to be a little lock here, so basically you do have the blister of the action figure. You do have the pack, the figure is inside. In the back you do actually have a collector number. You do have the back of the blister with what's in the collection, and there appears to be like a little latch. So we're going to see if we can manage to open this, because as I said, I've never opened one of those. So yeah, basically you got the little latch here, and you open the latch like that so that you can actually take the blister out. I mean, it's very well designed, and I've already lost something. I found it. Yeah, I mean, that's basically a lesson in be careful what you're doing, because this is the size of the bloody thing. I mean, really, I'm not joking. This is the size, and from what I can see, it's actually a Star Trek The Next Generation tricorder. Yes, I can tell you that. Isn't it just really, I mean, my finger, my hand, this is the size of the accessory, so it's fairly easy to actually lose it. So let's see what else is in there. There seems to be a stand. I mean, it's actually very well done for the size of what we have here. I'm actually even wondering if we can. So here is the figure. It's going to be difficult to see because let's do it like this. So this is the actual Captain Kirk figure that you get. Is it articulated? No. I mean, don't ask questions like that. However, it does come with a little stand. So we're going to see if I can put him on his stand, but I need to work out where because there's a tiny hole for the food, but I can't even see where the hole is. I think that's where it is. Am I right? No. So if I'm not right, it's going to be that one then. That one. Ah, yes. So, I mean, we're talking tiny. I'm going to try. I'm not sure that I'm going to risk putting the tricorder in his hand, but we're going to try, because it looks like you're supposed to be able to actually put the accessory in his hand, but no, I've got, my fingers are way too big. So here you go, this is the figure, and you can definitely, I'm sure, put the accessory in his hand, but I've got, fingers are too big, so I won't even risk it. But here you go. I mean, that's actually tiny. I mean, they're called the world's smallest for a reason, I suppose. Now let's see if we can put everything back in the box. So the stand goes back in the little plastic bag that goes in the back of the blister. Then you do have the figure that goes there. Then the tricorder goes here. I mean, I've never had any of those, so I'm literally discovering how that works. And here we go, is back in his little packaging. So that's Kirk. Now that we know how that works, it's going to be probably easier to open the rest. So Spock, you do have an image of Spock instead of Kirk at the front, with the image of the toy. You do have same thing in the back. I'm going to try and open this. Well, that's a lot easier now that I know how much force I can apply to it. It's going to be a bit faster. Of course, it does help that I really don't don't care about the packaging. So here is Spock. So same thing, you do have probably the accessory seems to be different. So I hope that's good. I have absolutely no clue as I'm filming how blurry or unblurry the figure is going to look. It's very, very difficult at this scale. So we do have the number, same thing. We do have the same type of packaging, and we're going to try and open it. We're going to be very careful this time not to lose the accessories. Oh, and Spock actually has two accessories, because he's got a next generation tricorder like Kirk, but he also has a classic tricorder. Sorry, I'm just trying to, you see, it's very easy to actually lose them. So classic tricorder and the next generation tricorder, and same thing, it comes with a little stand. I'm going to get him out of the stand. It might be easier if I show him to you directly on the stand. So let's see, where is the hole? The thing is, it's how small things are actually. But what's interesting with that one is that, so here is Spock. I'm just trying to get it to the camera to focus a bit on him. And the interesting thing with Spock is that actually this arm is articulated. So I don't know if it's on design or if it's been badly glued, but I can actually difficult to actually show you, but as you can see, the arm is articulated. I'm not sure, of course I dislodged it from its stand. Now I need to find the stand pull again. Those things are definitely not for children. Let me try. If I could, I can't find the hole in the back of the in the foot unless I'm actually doing it on the wrong foot. It's very difficult to see. Anyway, let's see if the other arm is articulated or not. Yes, the other arm is also articulated. So we do have two articulated arms for Spock, which is weird because Kirk didn't appear to be articulated at all, but maybe it's just that I didn't trying to force things to move in case I would break them. Let's see. Sorry, I can't easily put it on its stand. What I'm going to see is if we can actually put, yes, the accessory can be actually put on his shoulder. So, oops, it slid. And that's a really cool figure. So next, same thing. I'm going to show you the figure again a bit more without the stand, because I can't seem to be able to keep it on the stand. And we're going to do exactly like before. You will notice the stand is actually a different shape as the Kirk one. So I mean, it means it's weird because I would have thought that maybe they would have done the same stand for both figures, but no, they actually went through the trouble of doing different stand for each figure. So let's see if it's as easy as the other one to put back in the packaging. That's going to be a bit more complicated. Well, it's okay. It's just the tricorder that slid. But here you go. We can put him back in. And then we've got the last one, which is the ship. So we've got the USS Enterprise here. Little bit of the USS Enterprise showing. And of course in the back you do have the same, except it's not a blister pack, it's a box. So, well, inside the blister is a box and not a blister pack. So there's bits of plastic flying around because the blister for this is actually not the best quality, so it's a bit brittle on the edge. But it's okay. I wouldn't expect it to be great. So here is the USS Enterprise. So it's a plastic box, and in the back you do have the three figures. Side you've got Star Trek, then you've got Star Trek, and the opening is at the top because we do have a lid, and we can actually hopefully get the USS Enterprise out. In the back you do have actually a little background for the box, and we do have a blister, which is actually a double blister. We do have the USS Enterprise, I don't think, and we do have a stand, because yes, the stand is actually separate from the ship. So let's see if we can manage to put that in place, because it's so fiddly. I'm just afraid of breaking it. And here you go. This is the USS Enterprise. I mean, it does have the NCC 1701. It's actually not bad. I mean, for something that small, it's actually quite detailed. I mean, I wouldn't expect something that small to be that detailed in the first place. And here you go. I think it's actually brilliant. Those are really fun. I had never had those before, but I had always thought that they were, the idea of them is actually quite fun. So let's put him back in its box. And but yeah, so that's really cool. So they are the world's smallest micro figures, and you do have 3 Star Trek one. We do have the USS Enterprise, we do have Mr. Spock, and we do have Captain Kirk, whom I'm sure is partly articulated, because I don't see why Spock would be articulated but not Kirk. So here you go, they are out now in the US. I suppose they will start to arrive in Europe soon, because those toys are readily available either through Amazon or places like toy stores like Smith's and Entertainer, that kind of thing, because I see them all the time. So I know they get them. So it's a question of finding those 3 among the dozens and dozens that you get in the catalog. So it's Super Impulse, world's smallest micro figures, Star Trek. And here you go. I will speak to you again soon. Bye.